Yo,
Yo, what's going on, my guy?
how you doing, bro?
Oh man, chilling on this beautiful Saturday morning. How you doing?
Been good. Been good. It is a very beautiful Saturday morning. Well, partly cloudy, but that'll get better.
Yeah, no, it definitely is kind of partly cloudy. I thought it would have been a little more sunnier, but I think people told me that the weather's gonna be kind of flip floppy the next couple of days. So
Yeah, it's especially, I don't know what it is with the state of South Carolina. It's just back and forth. It'll be raining for 20 minutes and then sunny for the next 30 and then raining for 10. It's kind of just a
yeah, no, that's
flip flop
definitely
type thing.
honest. If I feel like if anybody lives in South Carolina, especially lately, they can tell you that it's like the weather doesn't want to make up its mind on what it wants to do. Uh, so yeah, no, that's 1,000% true.
It go it goes back it goes back and forth like crazy. But yeah, you've been good. How you been? It's going been a while. Been a while since our last shoot.
Yeah,
We're
no,
going
it's,
back at it again. Episode 98.
sir, yes, sir. Same old, same old. Uh, working. That's really all I can say. Anybody that live their life, they know exactly what I'm talking about. Especially in times like this, where short staff is ideal for almost every place you go. Just working for the most part.
Yup. It's crazy. Nobody really wants to seem to work anymore. It just it leaves like the few of us to have to work now 6 days, 7 days a week, just to, just to stay afloat. It's kind of crazy. But,
Yeah,
well, it's what you gotta do. Working like crazy. That's good though. That's good. Well, yeah, it's a good thing. There've been a good playoffs been going on recently, of course, per usual. It's been a lot of back and forth and crazy games and a whole bunch of good stuff, both in the NHL and the NBA. We can get kicked off with that today. Jay, which one you feeling? Which one you want to get started with?
We can start some NHL news first. Recap most of the stuff that goes on. That most of the stuff that happened in the second round. Starting with one of the bigger upsets in the second round, the Toronto Maple Leafs losing in five to the Florida Panthers. Glenn, being the resident NHL guy on the set, what is your analysis here on that massive upset?
Gotta watch out for those cats. Golly, they take down the greatest statistical team of all time in the Boston this year's Boston Bruins, and now they take off the young core of the Toronto Maple Leafs, who are coming off their first series win since 2004. And yeah, they're just a very dangerous team, led by Matthew Tkachuk and Alexander Barkov, and great goaltending by the man himself, Sergei Bob Brosky. That's not how to say his name, but the Bob sounds better. And yeah, they took down Toronto in five. I mean, it was over and basically. I mean, the first three games they took two in Toronto and then took care of business at home and lost game four and closed it out in game five in overtime. So I mean, it's just a all around great win, great series by Florida, and they just are what an upset. I mean, they're pulling through everybody right now, and they could see themselves being the last team in to be the team in the finals this year. So that'd be a heck of a story. Hopefully, it's not the case though, because they have my Hurricanes right now, so I don't want that to happen. I was speaking of that.
Yeah, Glenn's going to probably get a prop or a jersey or something. Yeah, got the jersey out. True fan he is.
Sebastian Aho jersey came in yesterday, so
Hey, now that's dope. That's dope.
I'm excited. Excited. Got the 25th anniversary one too, which is nice. Got the emblem on there. And it's got the strap on the thing too. Like you have to use to attach to your shoulder, your pads. I can't stretch that far, so it's all good. But yeah, I'm glad I got this because looks like I might have to be losing one of my jerseys to somebody over up in Charleston. I mean,
Hey,
it's first place in that bracket.
I mean, I mean, when you I don't know what can I say, man. Watching hockey all my life, just understanding how how the puck swings, the temperature of the ice when you skate on it, the velocity of the fans in the arena, just
All
all that stuff mashes together to come up with the compile one of the best brackets
of all
you've
time,
ever seen. Yeah, it's literally one of the greatest of all time.
masterful performance.
You're right. Yeah. You know, having played in the NHL for like no minutes, I just really got a great insight on the game, and just I got a good feel for these kind of things, especially in the sports world, but specifically in the NHL. So all the rest of you guys thought you were great. No, not at all. I'm leading the boards. It's what I do.
Yep.
So
He's enjoying first place now. I like how you use the velocity of the fans to pick the Kraken over the Avalanche. I love that.
yeah, man. I mean, like I said again, when you look at the ratio, especially on the road for fans who show up for the road team, show up for the home team, it's just that stuff plays a massive part, man. You got guys coming off injury. You got teams who obviously expected because every playoffs is like you obviously got your teams who are slated to do good. You got teams who everyone's expecting to have a good solid playoff. You got that one or two teams who should not be in the playoffs, but they got themselves in somehow, and they're thriving. And then you got those teams who everybody expects to just overwhelmingly win. Those teams got the most pressure, so therefore you got to make sure you pick carefully. One day I can teach you a thing or
I hope to learn. I know you thought I thought 10 years of hockey would be enough, but I guess I
two.
gotta learn. I gotta learn from Super J for the win himself. So
Super J for
yeah,
them.
gotta learn his tips and tricks. But yeah, if you ever want to host a class, there it is, first place. There, where am I, chilling? King G, right around there. I still have hope. If the Hurricanes win the Stanley Cup, I'll take first. But I'm hanging on by a thread here.
Yeah,
But yeah,
dog, but yeah. In all
super.
seriousness, though, I don't know how the hell I'm in.
I
Yeah,
checked the standings today. I was like, ain't no effing way. No
I
way.
had to go back in our messages to pull up the bracket, and I look up. Oh shit, I am winning.
I could not believe it. But
Yeah,
hey,
I know. I
shouts out.
mean, yeah.
Good lead so far, and you're cheering for those Panthers, I bet. That way you can officially clinch that spot.
Hey,
Because nobody had them going all the way. Or getting even out of the first round.
matchups, man. It's the matchups.
Yep.
Speaking
Well,
of speaking of those Panthers, I said we go to one that was more of a gentleman sweep. We got Carolina Hurricanes versus New Jersey Devils. Hurricanes win that series in 5 games, obviously being 4-1. With the Devils' only win coming in the game three, and that was in a 8-4 victory. Obviously, Hurricanes won the rest. So, Glenn, real quick, what is your thoughts on the Carolina Hurricanes over the New Jersey Devils?
I'm surprised that series. I'm surprised the Islanders series went six, and that one didn't go six at least. But yeah, they just absolutely dominated at home, like they have all postseason. And yeah, they just took care of business in their 3 games. And the only chance New Jersey had was to maybe the series go seven, and they get lucky and win it on the road. Just an off day because Game 7 doesn't really matter. Home field advantage, it's anybody's game. So, but yeah, I think that it's gonna. I think it was crazy that they came out and dominated in Game 3 so well behind the home fans, 8-4, and then the next game they get blown out like 6-1. So I found that kind of polar opposites. But yeah, big win for the Hurricanes. Obviously, they're gonna definitely dominated that series in 5, and found themselves moving to the Eastern Conference Final where they took on those pesky Panthers right now, who behind 1-0 after a 4 overtime. I bet Jay definitely stayed up for that.
Of course,
A 4 overtime game. Started at
absolutely
7.
insane.
Started at 8 o'clock. Ended at 2 a.m. So that was a very very wild game. And it could have gone if they didn't score. If Matthew Tkachuk didn't score 12 seconds left in the fourth one, it could have been a fifth one and gone even later. So that would have been fun. See if we can ever get a 6 overtime. There's only been a fifth overtime, but maybe a sixth is due to come one day. But yeah, big win for the Hurricanes. Devils, I wouldn't be upset. or anything about that. If I'm the Devils, I'm just gonna be proud that we made it to the second round and improved and take that young core and grow and work on building a little more chemistry, and that's about it. I mean, the Devils had a great year and you know made it to the second round, beat the Rangers, and a lot of people called it an upset because the Rangers made big moves in that trade deadline to get Tarasenko and Patrick Kane, but couldn't find themselves getting past those New Jersey Devils from New York. So, but yeah, I think they should just go back and reevaluate, and just understand they had a great year and don't have to stress too much. Just they ran into a very good Hurricanes team.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, definitely. I feel like obviously when you're the underdog team and you lose in a series, many people tend to think that hanging your head low or thinking that the world's over. The key is that you got in, you fought hard. But I mean, the hard truth about sports is that there's a winner, there's a loser. So I mean, of course, especially when you lose, the thing that you do, the thing that you could have done better, obviously, is magnified to a huge extent. But I mean, it is just like how you said, if you if I'm that squad, again, if I lost in that series again, I'm not sitting here, I'm not holding my head. Um, Especially Game 5, ending in OT. Hurricanes winning by one. I mean, that just shows that the Devils never gave up, never quit it. So I mean, I feel like whenever you're a team in professional sports, especially understanding that these are guys at the top of of the craft. Your team just was the one that came up short. So yeah, like how you mentioned, if I'm the New Jersey Devils, I'm not really hanging my head. I'm not really hanging my head low. Really, just gearing up, looking forward to next season and building on the success they have from this season.
Yup. All great points, and leads us to now the other side, which featured your Vegas Golden Knights
My
taking on.
Vegas Golden Knights.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yes,
Look at
sir.
picking the right bracket, picking the right team. It's going to be going to the finals. That's crazy. But
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
yeah, taking down the very dominant offense of the Edmonton Oilers, featuring Connor McDavid and Leon
Yeah.
Draisaitl and some other guys on that team. I'm not really sure who because it's just those two at this point. But yeah, they took them down in a very heated back and forth season. Find themselves moving to the Western Conference Finals. Jay, you being the resident Knights fan, what were your biggest takeaways from that very intense back and forth series?
Well, hold on before we get started.
If he pulls off a jersey's change or pulls off a
You
hockey
know
jersey,
it's
I'm about to.
coming.
Oh,
I
I'm about to
got
be
a
hyped.
jersey.
I'm about to be hyped.
No, I don't. So, uh, I mean, what can I say?
I rock with the shades though.
What can I say? I'm a fan of winners. Who would have thought that they could have seen this coming? This guy, all right, this guy, me. Um, you know, the Oilers, obviously historic franchise, great franchise, came in. Did you know that prior to our series, they came in out of their last 21 contests, only lost three. None of them, those three losses, none of them came in over. None of them came in regulation. They all were overtime losses. The Oilers,
Wow.
and just in a 2 week stand,
Oh,
they 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 dropped 4 games. You know what I'm saying? Feel like
jeez.
what we do is what we do. You know what I'm saying? The Golden Knights. I stuck in with my team all season just for us to have these moments. I mean, what can I say? What can I say? Knights
Hey,
on three. 1, 2, 3 Knights.
Knights. Hey, you did a good job, flat out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm impressed. You're picking. You think you know? You think you play? You followed hockey your whole life. I mean,
I,
geez, you got
I, I
everything.
mean, I
Everything
mean,
about it's going
I
viral.
live, breathe, and sweat hockey. I mean, hold. You know what I'm saying? It's
Live,
what we do.
freeze, live, freeze, and sweat hockey too.
Freeze and sweat. See,
Freeze.
freeze
Yeah.
and sweat. That's
There we
great.
go.
You freeze and sweat. That's like Shaq with the icy hot. You're hot and cold
Exactly.
because
Exactly.
I'm sweating and freezing at the same time. It's really like that. That really spells sick. What? But yeah, I mean, you know, it is what it is. I don't really, I
So
don't really have anything.
So where are we gonna find ourselves? Say my Carolina Hurricanes make it to the Stanley Cup final, play your Vegas Golden Knights, and Hurricanes being in Charlotte, North Carolina, which is striking distance away. Is that
I
a possible
mean,
visit?
why not? I feel like whenever you're talking about my Golden Knights, your Carolina team, pretty decent, I guess. But they're obviously failing in comparison to my Knights. So I mean, I don't want to say 4-0, but
Oh,
um,
4-0.
yeah, I don't want to say that. I mean, especially in the finals, might be too
Yeah,
hard.
that would be tough.
Um, yeah,
It will.
we got to keep the TV ratings going, so we can't just sweep you guys.
Yeah,
So
for us going head to head 4-0. I can't imagine. Oh wait, that did happen before. Last time we went head to head in the series, it was 4-0, just on the other side. So I don't know if that's gonna happen twice, but
I don't know, not at
no.
all. So we'll say 4-2.
You give
I'll
us
give you
two wins.
Knights and give you Knights and six.
Pity, just pity wins, right?
I mean, we got to keep the TV rates up. We can't
Yeah.
just sweep you guys. We got to continue to stay on television,
And we,
make some revenue. Get everything hyped and ecstatic for next season. But at the end of the day, um, Knights in three. Don't worry about it.
Knights in three.
Honestly, yeah. But to be
We're
very
gonna
honest with you
forfeit the
guys,
fourth game.
yeah, exactly. We're gonna crown us early. But this is where my true cogent analysis comes into play here. I actually had the Knights losing in the second round. I had the Oilers beating the Knights, and
Uh
obviously
huh.
that just obviously did not happen. Um, I can't sit here and say I'm a I'm obviously I'm a huge fan, of course, but at the end of the day, I'm an honest fan, so I couldn't just sit here and go straight off the top. Oh my God, I didn't want to. Obviously, what I got coming off injury, I didn't want to stack our ceiling so high. I felt like we would have. I felt like we would have been like Phoenix Suns. We needed time to get things back in gel. But I'm a fan at the end of the day, so my cogent analysis is out the window. Knights in three. I mean, when I feel like when you look at what we did, we held the Oilers to 9.5% of their shots. That's 3%. That's 3 percentage points. 1, 2, 3 percentage points lower than what they usually done all season. So what? I mean,
What?
we're great. We're just great.
What's that?
9.5 of their shots in this series, nearly 3 full points below the Golden Knights. I meant to say the Golden Knights. That's what we did. Not from them all series, the Golden Knights. They were 3 percentage points
You
lower than
sound
us.
like Cooper Cup explaining routes right now.
Hey, we just high off life. We're just out here winning games, winning series,
Hey,
making it
getting the job
making
done.
it making it look easy. At the end of the day, that's what we do. But again,
I think
holding the
you've done the
team,
impossible. You came up with a hockey stat that I don't even know.
it is what hey. Whenever you're a hockey historian like me, it is what it is.
Yeah, I guess things are changing. I might have got Space Jammed over here.
No, you're all good. Don't even worry about it. I'll teach you something. But yes, like I said again, when you look at
Vegas fucking.
again, massive props to the Oilers because they are
Oh my god.
it is what it
Keep doing your thing. I'll be right back.
is. He knows I'm the hockey guy. No, actually, I'm not the hockey guy, guys. Don't let this fool you. I'm really not. Um, Gwen's definitely the hockey guy. I just looked all this stuff up. I did my research a little bit before we started. But yeah. What else we got? Finished with 9.5% of their shots in the series, nearly full points below the Golden Knights. Edmonton's PDO of you guys know Edmonton's PDO of .971 was by some distance the poorest they recorded in any segment since games 11 through 20. When their horrid .964 was the key contributor to a and 3-7-0 run that was by far the worst of the season. Give a round of applause for Glenn. Look at him.
Canes in 6.
Okay, 6.
I completely forgot I had this. I think I sent it. Definitely don't use it anymore. Got it in Vegas. Going to see one of their games. I can't believe. I gotta keep this. This is a dub. Did right on it though. I don't know why. This is gonna be good. Oh, word. That is a dub. I really hope these guys make these two make the cup. We gotta go. That would be a game where hey, we can start a GoFundMe. Do a GoFundMe for tickets. Probably like I don't know. The Eastern Conference Final isn't tragic. It's like $100 a piece. That's not the end of the world for Eastern Conference Finals.
That's not bad at
So
all.
hopefully it's like 3 maybe for the Stanley Cup. But
did you also know that the Oilers' PDO was .971, which was the lowest PDO they had since games 11 through 20, where they had that horrible 3-7 run, and their PDO then was 9.6.
Give you $100. You tell me what PDO is.
I got you right now. I'm not even going to search it up. It's questioning my historic knowledge of the NHL. PDO stands for points down over.
Points down over.
PDO.
You know what? I think it's right. Points down over. I'm going with it. Whatever it is, if it's not that, we're changing it to it now.
Points down over. PDO.
PDO. Hockey stat. PDO. Understand just one. What is PDO in hockey? Called SPSV. The sum of the team's shooting percentage and its save percentage.
Oh, shots and saves?
Yeah, PDO.
Yeah, that's points
what is
down
an
over.
Yeah. Points down. I'll count it. Corpse PDO explaining some hockey analytic terms. Fenwick PDO adds a team's shooting average and save percentage at 5-on-5.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Wow. Well, I'm glad you guys got their PDO down.
Yeah. I mean, it was the lowest that they had since games 11 through 20, where they had that 3-7 stretch. I mean, like I say again, whenever you're, a historian of the game, stuff like that, you just gotta make sure that you keep in mind. So if we can get those guys to those numbers, then history tells us that they're gonna have worse chances of winning, just like their 3-7 skid that they had earlier in the season.
Yeah, if you, it's like JJ Redick. You got an analytics part of the game.
Yeah, I mean, I might be young JJ. You know what I'm saying? I'm analysis guy.
Yeah,
JJ, Triple J, Defensive Player of the Year, Jaren Jackson Jr., JJ Redick, all these J's. Jordan, Super J,
For the win.
Hey, for the dub. For the dub.
Hey, that's a W.
Yes, sir.
Let's see the W.
Yep. So
right.
that's my cogent analysis for the Golden Knights making it and winning it all. Last series, however, we got Seattle Kraken, Dallas Stars.
Kraken.
Bro.
I'm
sorry. They should just change it to Kraken. No. They should just change it to Kraken. I mean,
I'm down.
They sat in the office meeting room for hours just to come up with Kraken. What? For what? Like, you guys could have woke up out of the middle of the bread, out of the middle of your sleep, and just decided that name. You didn't have to sit in the office meeting room for hours upon hours with your very, very fancy suits on, looking at all the names of possibilities, the dragons, the wild dogs, the Showtime, the Kraken. That's like what? Like, anyways. No disrespect for any Seattle fan. If you're a Seattle fan, the Wild Dogs, like WDs, like the Hockey Lakers, right?
Hockey Lakers,
like the Golden Knights, like anything, the Silver Knights, anything, the Silverbacks, like all this craziness.
Silverbacks.
Yeah, I just came up with like 6 or 7 better names than the Kraken. But
title
yeah,
name,
but
team name change.
Yeah, exactly. They might as well put it in the system now. I mean, if the Redskins can go to the football team and then the Commanders, I mean, anyways. But no matter who they were, they lost in seven to the Dallas Stars. The Dallas Stars showed to be the better team. Um, winning the epic game, overtime thriller, the Kraken won. Going up in the series 1-0. This was no match. Stars took him seven, beat him in seven. 2-1 in that game seven. Glenn, me and my understudy to hockey knowledge that you are, I I need you to give me some
Under.
cogent analysis of this Dallas Stars Seattle Kraken.
All right. So in this very back and forth 7 game series between the Dallas Stars and the Seattle Kraken, it was a nail biter for sure. The Kraken did their thing on home ice, which they've been bound to do. Each team winning their crucial 5 and 6 at home. And game 7, the difference maker, obviously, like he was in the Wild series, is just Jake Ottinger. I mean, you win a game 2-1. That's good goaltending for you right there. And so they took care. He took care of business. He helped out immensely. And this time of year, the most important position in hockey is definitely the goaltending position. So he did what he was supposed to, and they got the job done. Big shouts out there to the Kraken for getting this far, and in their second season, making it to the second round, upsetting the Stanley Cup champions all the way to get to the second round and take the Dallas Stars 7 games, which was a back and forth. Great series and just an all round job well done. But as far as the Stars go, I mean they've just been using their veteran presence along with their youth and Robinson and Miko Heiskanen, all in that young core, along with like the Joe Pavelskis and the Jamie Benns and the Tyler Sagans, and just been merging it. They have a great blend of veteran presence and young, energetic youth, combined with a great goaltender. So I think that they really are got something cooking right now, and they've just been, I'm not really. It's strange seeing Dallas succeeding in the playoffs. I'm so used to a certain Dallas team choking that time of year. But yeah, good job for the Stars, and they didn't bounce. They didn't count themselves out in that series. They fell down 1-0 at home, and then they bounced back even the series, and then fell down 2-1 on the road, but got the job done in Game 4 and took care of business in the best of three, winning 2 out of 3 like they needed to. And shouts out to them flat out. And how about Joe Pavelski too? His first game back, he scores 4 goals in Game 1. I mean, is that just
Yeah, that is absolutely phenomenal. 4 goals in a
insane?
game that's like more than a hat trick. That is absolutely ridiculous.
I mean, that's incredibly impressive, especially
Yeah.
being in your first game back. And his last goal, he scored, he went up in the air, and he got like the little that mid shot. I was like, oh damn, that's a good hockey thing.
No, definitely. I mean, Dallas obviously is in a place to where they're kind of familiar with. Obviously, last time making the conference finals 2020. However, last time winning the whole thing 1999. So looking to do something that they have not done since I was born 24 years ago. Which is win it all this year. Um, they got their hands full, of
You were
course.
alive for the last Stanley Cup.
Yeah, that was
That's
yeah.
crazy.
I was born in 1999. So yeah, that was my birth year. Last time they won. So obviously haven't won it all. I mean, I feel like all Dallas teams in Dallas, they haven't won anything since forever ago. The last team that won
Mm-hmm.
something was the Mavericks, and that was in 2011. All
Good
the other
long
Dallas
time
teams
ago.
are just yeah. So, but
Well,
now
maybe
of course they
maybe
got
this
their hands full. Hmm?
maybe the city should start showing some love to the other teams rather than just focusing on we them boys.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Exactly. Yeah. That's just happens to be just football. So of course football gets a lot of love, but yeah, no, Dallas, the Cowboys is absolutely sometimes a joke of a franchise. They try to hide it. But it's like fool's gold. It's like if you're trying to get fit and you think, you got to gain weight, you got to gain 20 pounds, and you gain 20 pounds of fat. You gain 20 pounds, of course, but it's all bluff. It's all empty calories for what you're actually trying to do, and that's what the Cowboys represent. But yeah. So like I said again, Dallas Stars obviously got their hands full, but I mean it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? We'll make light work of them, and ship them home like a bad Amazon Prime delivery. So
Good one. Bad Amazon Prime delivery. Very, very good. I like it. Yeah, return that package and possibly move on to the Stanley Cup final to hopefully
yeah,
face on my Hurricanes.
Canes, them Canes.
Them Canes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's gonna be fun. Obviously, your Knights up 1-0. Mine in a 1-0 hole right now, but we're gonna try to even that series tonight, and then Game 3 on Monday. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to watch them on Monday though, because by the time 8 o'clock rolls around, I may not be maybe a little bit
Oh yeah, you may be
going on,
Yeah, yeah,
going on
yeah.
that day.
Definitely. Yes, sir. Yes,
20,
sir.
21's definitely turning 21's definitely
Yes, sir.
not gonna
Big
be a good remedy.
milestone in your life. Yeah, no, we,
Hey,
you
let's
know,
hope
hey,
they
and
get. Let's hope they get a win. That'll be a good.
yeah, no, I feel like they should all tune into you and watch you for your birthday. You should let TNT see like, okay, well, damn the hockey game. We're going to watch Glenn turn 21.
It'll be a show. I'll tell you that. I got a
Yes,
full day
sir.
plan. But any suggestions for purchases? I'm buying one case and then one bottle of bourbon or whiskey. Got any suggestions?
Like I said, I'm not the drink guy. I just go in there and ask them
Should I
what's
get a
the
40?
most. No, should I get a 40? Yeah, no, I know that. No. Uh, yeah, no, I'm always the guy that just walks in and say, hey, give me the strongest thing you got.
Save time. Just turn around.
Yep,
Don't need to sell me anything. Just give me the strongest.
exactly. Yeah, you don't got to
That'll be
sit
it.
here and pitch me any drink or do this, do that. Just yeah.
All right. Well, I'm excited. It's gonna be fun, and I'll let you know what we end up going with. But that was NHL for us, and look at that, a 32-minute NHL segment. I'm impressed.
That's good. Yes,
I'm
sir.
impressed.
32 minutes on the head.
We talked a lot. Man, we're getting rhythm. Yeah. Switching over to the other side, the NBA side of the postseason. Second round has been wrapped up, and we are 2 games into the third round conference finals. But to kick us off, before we dive into what happened in the first 2 games of Eastern and Western Conference, we'll see what happened in the second round. Jay, pick a hand. Well,
Um, let's go with the hand that you got your Eagles wristband on.
alrighty, we're gonna start with the East.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Pick another
sir.
hand.
Let's go back to the same hand.
Same hand.
Yep.
Alrighty. We're going to be talking green, and by green, I don't mean money or my Eagles. I mean the Boston Celtics, who took down the Philadelphia 76ers in a 7-game series. I'll tell you what, Jay, you recap this and then just prompt me, and I'll just, like the
Uh,
floodgates, I'll just
I
burst
mean,
it all out at once.
just first and foremost, the Sixers are actually a very funny team. So they win game one despite Joel Embiid not being there. Then, I mean, of course, they have to, the Boston has to get some get back, so they got to even it out. So then they go on the road, game two, game three. I mean, Boston, Boston steals one. Then I believe what Philly. Then Philly gets the James Harden game. Was that? Oh no, wait, that North. Moral of this story:
Game 4,
James
Harden hit the corner 3.
Game four, Harden. Yeah, so game four, Harden. Harden wins in game four. So Harden essentially wins them game 1-4, ties it up 2-2. Um, they go on the road. I mean, well, didn't yeah they beat Boston on the road. So it was going into game six. You gotta. The whole game six was a overall good game that Philly played. I mean, you held Tatum to, basically no points the whole 3 quarters, and then you just allowed him to be Superman and just get 16 in the fourth. How do you lose a game where there's top star? That's how you. If I was a betting man, that's how you know. I would have easily bet. Yep, Sixers are going to lose game seven because you cannot give up from a morality standpoint. You can't give up for three quarters, absolutely no production from the other team's best player, and then you allow him to slither. First off, you allow their team to still be in the ball game while their top star gives them no production as far as in the points category. And then in the fourth quarter, you allow their top star to regain his form and go 16 points in the fourth. And then that just obviously is going to trickle down into a game seven back on their home court in TD Garden, where actually kind of evidently the Celtics have not been a great home playoff team all season. So then that leads us to game seven. Um everybody from the Sixers came to absolutely play tonight. They played full character. Joel Embiid, essentially a no-show. James Harden was a disaster, and then he left the party. He was an obvious no-show. And of course, like always, Doc's going to be Doc. They're going to blame Doc. And yeah, Tatum drops a playoff game high in the game seven points on this team, while that team employs the MVP and the obvious future Hall of Famer, assist champion this year, and obviously Joel Embiid MVP and James Harden assist champion. So some cogent analysis from this game, or from this series. You just look at it. Philly Miles should have had it. Philly should have had it. We mentioned it on our previous show how if I'm Joel Embiid, just winning the MVP, understanding that you got all the momentum, understanding that Miami did the dirty work for you as far as getting rid of Giannis. So all you got to do, as far as in the East bigs go, the best big you would have to deal with if you're Joel Embiid is Bam, and Bam is undersized already. You're a 7-foot monster who got an inside-outside game. All you got to do is just get past the Celtics, who were trying to hand you the game. They've been proven ever since last playoffs to not be a good home team in the playoffs. And they're literally game seven, they tried to give you the game. You didn't want to take it. And then, game six, they tried to give you the game. You didn't want to take it. And then you just complete no-show in game seven. I believe stuff like that. I believe some fines should come out. I do not think that that's just coincidental that every time in the biggest moments that the Sixers, more notably, James Harden, Joel Embiid, Doc, find some way to lose. Doc is the top 10 most winningest coach ever in like games in general. But I mean, in the playoffs, he's lost. He has like 10 losses in a row, or like 0-10 or something like that in game sevens. I mean, he was brought in to get them over the hump and get them out of the second round, because Joel Embiid is the only MVP that never got out of the second round. So it's a lot more to be said about this, but just from a Phillies, obviously you're going to talk about Philly as well, but Boston did not. I don't think Boston wanted the series. I genuinely don't. When you're looking at a team that has an MVP on it and some complimentary guys. You have no reason, you have no reason to lose. I mean, one thing to lose, but lose in that fashion, to just get absolutely obliterated. I don't really think. I don't understand how that happened. But the floor is yours. What is your reaction to it? Obviously you being the resident Philly fan here. I'll be honest. I would love to sit here and joke on you like, ha ha, you guys lost, but you guys are absolute. Excuse my French, kids. An absolute walking shit show, and I don't understand you guys. I really don't.
The Philadelphia 76ers are, without a doubt, this team, especially, are the most. I would consider them one of the most overrated teams, possibly in Philadelphia history. I told myself at the beginning of the year, and I mentioned a bunch of times on the show, that I'm not going to get my hopes up. We're not going past the second round because we didn't make any changes and didn't do a single thing different to help us win. However, like every year, I let myself fall back into the trap, and I got a little bit of hope when we went up 3-2. But, of course, in the biggest moments, Joel Embiid was... Where'd he go? I lost him. No, he's nowhere to be found. He went ghost mode and turned into Perfect. That's a perfect representation in Joel Embiid in big games. There he goes. There's him laughing with Jason Tatum after losing in Game 7. Very good analysis there, Mister King of Analogies. Yeah, I think that it was an absolute it was a Joel Embiid performance along with James Harden. But I mean, I'm not a James Harden like, oh my God, James Harden is the man or anything like that. But I'm also not gonna put this loss necessarily on him. It's not. We didn't. He flat out was a reason we lost. But like always, even Doc Rivers got the axe, and I wanted him gone. I think he was an awful coach. But in big games, he's terrible. But again, still not on him. It is on one guy and one guy only, Joel Embiid. And for me, he went from crying against Toronto when Kawhi hit the buzzer beater to laughing up with Tatum and hey, you doing? All right, good game, man, good game. All right, have a good one. And to saying how him and James Harden needs help. And when you say that, I kind of scratch my head because how can you be the most valuable player and expect that and have that award, but also you need help. You need help. I need help in order to win. You have the assist champion. You have James Harden, who's supposed to be a pretty solid guy. By the way, you threw James Harden under the bus, and yet Tyrese Maxey, PJ Tucker, the surrounding cast played 10 times better than James Harden in Game 7. But everybody stepped up in that Game 7 outside of James Harden and Joel Embiid. And you know what? I can't dislike the Celtics. I can't do it. The more I wanted to, and I wanted to just because it's Boston, Philly, and but I just can't really dislike him. I like Jason Tatum. I like Jason Brown, or not Jason Brown, Jalen Brown. I love their coach. Marcus Smart can get annoying at times, but he's a competitor, so I like that. Um, Al Horford, the whole and Grant Williams, the whole team is just all around a good team, and they play well with each other. It's just they just kind of Sixers are too. I can't even. I can't. I mean, it's just so. It's just ridiculous at this point. I mean, literally, the process, in my opinion, is completely over, and it failed. The process failed. You can't. We tried to reprocess the file. It was loading, got to like 96%, and then just failed. And then you tried it again, and then it failed, and it kept failing. It kept failing once you got to 75%.
Yeah.
So process failed. Just start over. Flat out. If I were the Sixers, I'm releasing Harden. Let him sign somewhere else. Fired Doc already. Trade Joel Embiid. If he's that MVP, great. Oh my God,
Oh damn.
he's the end of the thing. Trade him. Get as much back for him. I would. I said right now. I would do James. If the Heat want to, they'll never do it in a million years because they have brain cells.
Nope.
But James Harden and Joel Embiid for Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. Please God, if they can make that happen, it would be the greatest thing in the world. But it's just the most frustrating thing in the world. The one reason Doc got fired, I'm glad, and I'm not. I don't really like blaming the coach for a loss because at the end of the day, the coach is still sitting on the bench telling grown men how to play basketball who've been playing their whole lives. So I mean, there's only so much the coach. He's not out there getting guarded, not just guarded. I'm sorry, not getting guarded by Al Horford, getting locked up and dominated by Al Horford at Joel Embiid, and he's not missing threes, and he's not doing like James Harden. He's just not doing it. But as a coach, your job is to put players in the best position and coach them to do what they do best. When Doc Rivers just allowed Joel Embiid to just chill out the 3-point line, take fadeaway threes, and just like the last second, there's like 3 or 4 times in Game 7 where he's taking a desperation and a shot clock shot at the like 35-foot range. So I don't know what that is. When you have a guy that is Joel Embiid at 7 foot, 295 pounds, whatever the heck he is, you just flat out say, all right, you're playing Al Horford, who is smaller, both physically and like weight and height. So you just go down to the paint. You say, James, give me the ball up here. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna turn, and I'm gonna just dominate. Al Horford's either gonna foul me, or I'm gonna make the bucket. Flat out. Just grab the ball, turn, slam. That's it. Grab ball, turn, slam. That's all you have to do. And then when they want to double team you or Al Horford just giving everything he got, pushing you outside, you take a midi. And like all right, like a midi, you can make that shot. And then he's forced to play your shot again. And then you just drive, keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it until they find a solution. Because like Shaq, if Shaq had Joel Embiid's free throws, if Shaq could shoot free throws like Joel Embiid, Shaq's the greatest player of all time. Greatest player of all time. Because he knew his size, he understood his assignment. You never saw Shaq shooting threes. He didn't even need to shoot mid range. It doesn't even need mid range. If Shaq knew how to shoot the free throw, he'd be the greatest player of all time. There would have been no solution to stopping him whatsoever. None. So Joel Embiid should be traded. James Harden should be released. Doc's already been fired, and Sixers should just start over. If you ask me, I'm a very frustrated Sixers fan. But honestly, I say I'm very frustrated. But fortunately for me, I did have a second round exit already in mind. They just kind of teased me with that 3-2 series lead. Like here, come here, come here, come here. Come here. Oh,
Right.
they snatched it. It's like the guy, it's like the
Right.
Geico commercial. Ooh, you gotta be quicker than that.
Gotta be quicker than
So,
that.
yeah, I think that they definitely tease me like that, and uh, yeah. So it's all good. It's not. I honestly was expecting a loss, so I'm already over it, and I don't really care. I know it has to get done. Wasn't expecting a championship anyway, because what the heck, they didn't make any changes. Like the Eagles and the Phillies, that one stung for a while, but this one I really don't. It's a second round exit. And one thing I would like to say though, I'm talking like CBS Sports and all these people. What's with everybody saying like, oh, Philly's having a rough year. They lost in the finals and these three sports, and they lost in the second round. But like, okay,
No, they're
so
idiots.
like
If you say losing, like, these are the people who try to sit here and argue that LeBron, being in the championship game, obviously like half his life, like making it to the finals, is a bad thing. Like, what would you rather him do, losing round one? So, like, for those people who sit here and think Philly's having a rough year, no. I mean, is it more of a tougher fall because it's not like Charlotte where nothing wins. Well, right now you got in North Carolina, you got the Hurricanes, but usually in Charlotte nobody's winning. The Panthers aren't winning. The Hornets aren't winning, and it's just, oh well, we just expect to lose. Philadelphia in the past year has what made it to the MLB finals. Um, what else? You football? The Eagles made it to the Super Bowl.
the Union made it to the MLS championship.
Right. So I mean, for anybody with, and like I said, how you say at CNN, CBS, whoever said that stupid stuff, you guys are idiots. Because I mean, you can't sit here and think that you're having to. So again, what would you rather do? You rather not make it to. You rather not be competitive at all and just forfeit and just basically try to get lottery picks. Idiots. You're all idiots.
Tell me what's worse: a team that got the second overall pick were so bad they got the second overall pick in or the first overall pick. I'm sorry, in the NBA or the Panthers they got the first overall pick, and the Charlotte Hornets, like you mentioned, or
Right.
New York that got bumped in the first round, in the second round if you're the Knicks,
Right.
and the second round if you're the Giants. Like what? I mean, we made
Jets
it.
didn't. Jets didn't even make it. I don't believe.
It may hurt a little more, but it's still a better season. I
I
mean,
mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what I'm saying. People were like, those
at
people are
least we
just
had the
all idiots.
experience.
Like, right. I would rather be in contention to win it all and lose rather than not be in contention at all. Because if I can be in contention at all, and like if I can be in contention, I feel like that's even though the main goal is winning. But to sit here and say that I was like in contention and I was in the hunt to win, that's like, matter of fact, the guy I knew from American Idol who went to American Idol, he finished, I believe, top 10. That's like saying he would have had a better chance if he would have finished top 20, 25 ish.
Mhm.
Like, that's stupid. But yeah, no, those guys are idiots. My quick point is, I got two quick points when we can move on off of these just horrible Sixers. Um,
Dreadful,
you said that
awful.
you like Boston, even though I'm gonna talk Boston a little bit more in depth whenever we get to like what's going on now in basketball. But Boston to me is entirely flaky. Um, they took since last postseason to now, they've I believe they lost more home playoff games than they won. That is just atrocious. That just can't happen. Um, Even all season, they lost to the sorrier teams. Like they lost to the Knicks. They lost season record in the regular season. They lost to Orlando. I mean, this they're not a they're a very very flawed squad. You got a lot of stuff, but I mean, we can talk about them later. But no, I do say this. Even though obviously I don't think Joel Embiid's getting traded or any move this season, I don't know what his contract and stuff means right now. I don't know what it represents. However, um, I would not be surprised if next season if they have some begrudge like if he gets second round booed again or doesn't make second round. I I'm not too far removed from thinking that Philly's going to have to think about okay, it was fun while it lasted, the process, all that cool stuff. But we processingly come to find out what you was loading the whole time actually complete. It was a second round appearance at best. Um, I would not be surprised if they tried to shop him and try to get something back for him. One thing, and I was talking to my cousins about it last night. Whenever you're whenever you're coaching or anything, general managing, Bill Belichick says it best. You rather get off of a player 1 year early than 1 year too late. And what I'm afraid for is that if Joel Embiid, like again with the injuries and need surgery, if he continue doing that, you lost your head coach. James Harden is most likely walking out the door. So you're essentially going from a second round exit team, and you're really getting worse. Maybe it's just me. I don't really know who all the free agents is this summer. I don't. If I have to say, I don't know or I don't believe many of them are coming lining up trying to play infield. I don't know. Could be wrong, but at the end of the day, yeah. No, but yeah. Philly's a interesting, very interesting team. That I just don't understand. But yeah.
If
So
LeBron went to Philly.
that'd
Remember,
be
remember
that'd be
when he was
ugly.
in Cleveland and that was one of the four teams he was picking.
Yeah, Philly.
That would have been him and Joel Embiid. That would have been a unique combination.
Yeah, that would have been LeBron James and the Phillies would be super ugly. He would be like a souped up PJ Tucker. Quick thing before we quick thing before we move on. I knew I knew for a fact this series really hurt or really hit certain Philly fans. I forgot who on TV, but they said they called Kevin Hart or Kevin Hart called them or whatever, and they were like he was literally crying. He was literally emotional for the way that his team went out and performed. Like again, for the diehard fans of Philly, you guys are like very competitive all over in other sports. Looking at what the Eagles are doing, looking at what your Phillies are doing, came out of nowhere and competed the way that they did. Like for the bas for the sport of basketball, if you to have a competitive team, quote unquote, in the sport of basketball, and they continuously keep letting off the gas or just losing control of the steering wheel in the critical times of the games, and critical times of games, it just can't happen. They play it on a very untraditional. A lot of basketball nowadays, thanks to a revolutionary shot of the 3 point. A lot of teams play untraditional basketball, and again, to sit here and have it's like having the keys to the Lambo outside, but you rather drive the Honda. That's exactly what Joel Embiid's game was like that series. You have the access to be under the basket and impose your will, force double teams, kick it out to guys. You can have. There's no reason why he can't be Jokic. He should be able to kick the ball out to guys and they make threes, or James Harden create something by him just being dominant, being himself under the rim. He should not, like LeBron James, should not be shooting threes. That should not be what he's doing. Now, again, can he make them? Of course. Take a page out of Anthony Davis' book. Anthony Davis, now he shoots maybe 2, 3 a game, maybe. He's living, most of his stuff is going at the rim. He's attacking the rim. The Lakers are the most free throw shots having team all season. Why? Because they play a downhill style of basketball. That has even though Joel Embiid takes free throws a lot, he has no reason to not keep his foot on the gas situation. But I digress. Anyways, before we sit here and talk about the Phillies, not the Phillies, the Philadelphia 76ers all day, let's move on before I sit here and go into what should
Celtic,
they. We should have like a whole segment, huh?
real quick, the Celtics. When I'm at I like the Celtics. I like them as like a team. Not I'm not like as gonna win, just like as the
Yeah.
team
Oh
themselves.
yeah.
I like them. Like they're good all around. I mean, Tatum and the whole company. They
I
step up.
disagree
They
so
step in when
much.
they need to. You don't
I
like Jason
disagree
Tatum?
so much. I'm not. No, not at all. I'm not a fan of JT. I'm not a fan of Boston. Like Boston has to be the most
This
weirdest good team ever. Like they're literally very, very weird. Like I've never seen mess like this. Like so we're talking about Boston later, but no, that's hmm. The other series in the East. We obviously spent a lot of time on the Sixers because that's Glenn's squad. Other team on the East.
possibly former squad, but we'll go with it.
Other
I'm not.
team we're looking at the New York Knickerbockers
Would I
and
be a
the
Nuggets fan?
Miami Heat.
Would that be too much
Um,
bandwagon if I joined the Nuggets?
shoot, I've been a Jokic fan, so all I got to do is just
Jokic is
change.
the man.
Yeah, Jokic is absolutely done. I genuinely feel like, and I mean this in no joke, like all sincereness,
No
they
joke.
literally should take the MVP back and give it to Jokic.
On God. On
They should
God.
literally do that. Like I forgot. I think he actually said he was like he doesn't care about the MVP award. The great. You don't have to. That's what you got fans for. We care about that. There is no way I don't care. Obviously, again, many people argue that the MVP is a regular season award. Fine and dandy. I you know what I'm saying, I get it. You know what I'm saying? It's not a team accomplishments award. I get it. Regular season wise, I don't think I genuinely think Jokic should have the MVP in his hands right now. And not sprinkled on top. Again, I know for a fact the MVP is not playoff based, but we need to change that because whenever you see a flame out of that magnitude from Joel Embiid, and then you look across the pond and you see Jokic doing whatever he wants, like he's literally this man can't jump. This man is not athletic. This man is just doing whatever he wants. That's the difference between an athlete masquerading as a basketball player and a basketball player. That's literally what it is. But we'll get there later. Anyways, quick, like I said, let's go to the Knickerbockers and the Heat real quick. Jalen Brunson seemed to be the only one that actually cared about playing basketball in their final games.
How's it going?
He literally was the only one that came to play. Uh, um, but obviously Jimmy Butler and the Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and the predetermined JV squad of the Miami Heat just continue to hoop. I mean, I mean, whenever you're playing, like,
The randos that he picked up
yeah, yeah,
at the rec.
yeah, the guys that who were balling out there at. He literally picked up guys at Record Park while in New York right before the game. So I need about 3 guys to play with. It's like y'all trying to play like, oh yeah, we gonna play the NBA game. But like no, and I say that really as a huge compliment to what the Heat have accomplished and what they're doing. We had I remember earlier, earlier in our shows, before the playoffs started, how hard I was on the Heat. It's only because I genuinely feel in my heart of hearts they can improve themselves talent wise. But the fact that they can I'm literally converted over to just saying, you know what, if this team right here was to win it all, I would be extremely happy for them in the sport of basketball because what they represent as a team is absolutely monumental. First off, everything starts and stops with your leader on the court, and that's Jimmy Butler. He's playing absolutely phenomenal basketball on both ends of the court. I feel like nowadays people try to
Who's
masquerade it.
who's who? Who?
Mr. Hemi buckets,
Thank you.
Mr. Jim Himothy buckets, all that cool stuff. The guy's like absolutely, bro. Like watching him play basketball, especially in that series, just seeing how it wasn't as monstrous as what he did against the Bucks, but just the steady control and command he has over the game, and I feel like the way he leads his squad, I feel like they won those series. They won that series surely because of the leader they have. And obviously Eric Spoelstra is an absolute, and I mean this in a great, I know this might get taken out of context one day, but I mean this in all sincerity and like in a super duper positive way. That guy's like a thug. Like you really like the way Eric Spoelstra just chill. It's like Eric Spoelstra reminds me of a guy that he's just chilling on the side on the sidelines He know for a fact if anything pop off, he got like 100 goons in the stands who just ready to take off and do whatever. All of them spread all around the court and like all black, ready to mess somebody up. Like the way they just seem like that's like a well-oiled machine right there. That team. And huge shouts out to them. Huge shouts out to the Struces of the world, the Vinces of the world. They
Struce
finally
is a baller. Him
right
sent. Did you see that shot yesterday? He made in Tatum's mouth
the one talking
with the
about the step
money
back
with the
midi,
game on the line,
cold, ice cold, man. Like
dude.
watching that team. I watched some of the game. Like, but see, watching them because I watched most of the highlights this morning, and I watched like some other parts of the game this morning as well. But just watching that team play, again, they're just a well-rounded machine. Kyle Lowry stepped up massively last series. Played very, very competently. Shoot, I've been heavy on his neck all season, but it's only because they think that you're better than Russ, Kyle. It has nothing to do against you. You're just not a good basketball player in my eyes sometimes, but it is what it is. We argue about it another
Has
time.
nothing to do
But
with you. I just think you suck.
no, in all seriousness though, like I say again, from a team standpoint, obviously seeing what he brings to that team, um, as far as from a leadership standpoint, as far as from an accountability standpoint, being able to accept the role coming off the bench and producing. I feel like that stuff. That's the real test of a leader, of a champion. Whenever you're faced with those type of adversity situations and situations that people could out from the outside world clown you about. Oh my God, this. For you to sit there and do that for your squad, for better helping your squad win, absolutely great. I mean, Kevin Love's playing competent minutes. Like this stuff is amazing to see. But yeah, no, great shouts out
Love.
to yeah, right. Like great shouts out to the Miami Heat. From the Knicks side of things, Julius Randle got to go. I'm sick of it.
Facts, bro.
Um, and the crazy thing is, I actually like his game. Like I'm okay with his game. However, I don't think it'd be suitable for the Knicks. Um, from I feel like from this point forward, Jalen Brunson is the leader of that team, and we're not asking any questions. Nobody's going to have anything to say about it. We're going to shut up and put on that jersey and hoop because that is Jalen Brunson's squad. He earned that. He deserved that. He played like it all season for this team. Obviously, he had his rough spurts in the beginning of the season. But I mean, he played. He fought hard. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I think he made over 50% of New York's field goals in their final game. Um,
Over 50%.
he shot like I think he made like 13 buckets. I think the rest of the team had like 11 or something of that nature. It was something in there to where like he had a stat like that. But yeah, again, I feel like moving forward, I like Quickly, I like Toppin, I like RJ Barrett, I like Mitchell Robinson, I like the young
Grimes
center they got off the bench. Yeah, Quentin Grimes. I love Josh Hart. Those guys, I feel like moving forward in the East, that's essentially this wide open. When you look at the Bucks falling, the Sixers just can't get it right. Boston looks flawed as ever. I mean, you have no true
Bucks.
dominant.
Bucks fallen.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the Bucks. I mean, the Bucks lost in round one. Buds got fired, so they're essentially falling. Only thing they got going for them is Giannis, because Chris Middleton might be out the door. Drew Holiday's obviously a good player. They traded all those second round picks to Jay Crowder, and he's DNP coach's decision, so they're falling. Um,
Yeah, that was stupid. Yeah.
yeah, that
That
again,
didn't, that didn't pan out.
no, it was absolutely
Oh,
dumb.
yeah. What's with these guys signing supposedly impact playoff players and then not playing them at
Playing them in the
Jay
playoffs,
Crowder, at Montrezl Harrell?
right? That's another thing. I didn't understand Montreal not playing all. Like he was literally the sixth man of the year a couple years ago. But yeah, like I said though, I feel like the Knicks are in a very great spot. Um, again, they're going to be competing with the Cavs of the world for the next 2 to 3 years. The my up and coming Nets of the world.
Cal
Um,
Bridges.
yes, sir, Michael and them boys. I mean, they're in a great spot. But yes, Julius Randle has to go. Um, good player. He just doesn't fit what I believe the Knicks should be about. Um, yeah, he just was an absolute no show. I mean, his body language is on that. Is his body language is absolutely atrocious. He just looks like he's just disengaged. He doesn't even look. He looks like he wants to be there. So I mean, yeah, they got to get rid of him. If the Knicks have any hopes of actually being competitors and competing, they got to get rid of him. Yeah, no, that was it. I mean, even though I said I wasn't gonna talk much
Agreed.
about that, but yeah, that's a lot.
Who are you talking about?
Yeah, Knickerbockers. I don't know why,
Hey, who knows?
but yeah, moving on to the West. It's good in the West, baby. We got Lakers over Warriors. Those goddamn going Golden State Warrior boys. Those light skinned fellas with that dark skinned fella named Draymond. I love you, Draymond. But you are absolutely funny. It's very funny because
Overrated
he
as
actually,
fuck.
oh yeah, I mean, but the crazy thing, he actually had, he dropped points. Like he had like 18 points one game. I think he had like a 20-point game. Like it's absolutely crazy. But Golden State fails in comparison to the Lakers simply because they think that even though it's crazy, they're front running as a very great franchise. They are a great franchise, history franchise, especially the past 10 years. With the way they've been able to play, how they've been able to play their style of basketball, and it contributes to winning. In all actuality, if you sit here and look at it, whenever you go up against a actual good big accommodated with LeBron James, it spells recipe for disaster. Um, Big shouts out to Steph Curry for a majority of the series. He played great basketball. He played Steph Curry brand of basketball. Klay Thompson took a huge decrease. He may end up getting asked or take a pay cut this offseason to keep him. Um, Jordan Poole belongs in the G League. And
Jay.
Looney played good. Right. Oh man, he didn't even. He got
Jordan
like
Poole.
he got like halfway up the cliff. And, my leg, and just fell off. But oh, quick thing about Jordan Poole. Have you heard about the whole? Now I know this is like kind of not sports, but sports. Have you heard about the whole him taking Ice Spice on like a $500,000?
I was literally just about to say that. I was gonna say they better not even Ice Spice in the crowd was enough to have the Jordan Poole beat the Lakers.
um,
They pulled out all
um,
the stops and still couldn't beat him.
they was thinking about setting her like in the middle of the court for game 7 just to make sure that he plays good. But yeah, no,
Have him sit on the bench
yeah,
next to Steve Kerr.
yeah, yeah. She could hold a clipboard for Steve Kerr and like drop all the plays. Each play was gonna call Munch, Munch one, Munch two, Munch pick and pop. Thought I was feeling you, like all that cool stuff. Yeah, no, but yeah, that guy needs to be examined in real life. But but that's atrocious. That's Oh man, no, that's crazy. I hope that's alleged. I hope that's not true. But anyways, no, he still played horrible. I feel like Kevin Looney played a very great series. But
AD was just too much.
oh yeah, I mean yeah, it's Anthony Davis. I mean, feel like if
Healthy
I'm
healthy
Looney,
AD is top five.
oh yeah,
At
I mean I
least.
feel like
At least.
if I'm Looney, I'm not even upset because like I said, he balled. He went up against just a better player. I mean that's what happens in sports and life. Whenever you go up with someone or something that's just genuinely better, then I mean, you don't you it's really you know, hard to fight that. You can fight as hard as you want, but this better guy. But yeah, Warriors obviously go down to 6 games. Glenn, let me ask you. I've been like a massive amount of talking. Um, give me what do you think the Warriors have to do to basically ensure like what do you think the Warriors have to do roster wise to basically ensure that they have a better season next season?
Warriors obviously live or die by the three, and I don't think that's a great recipe. It works out in some cases, but I don't really know if that's the best long term remedy anymore. But I don't know. I just can't. I don't know what it is. I just these last 2 years I've developed a very strong dislike for the Warriors. I honestly was on their side. Strangely enough, I was on their side during the I was fine with them during the KD era, but looking back, I kind of regret that because that kind of just ruined. Not didn't ruin basketball because it wasn't the first super team to be formed, but it was also just it was the first official mon. I call it there's super teams, then there's monstars, and that's the level of how it goes. It's just I don't even know. I mean, Steph Curry, obviously, like him or not, he balled the entire series. Um, it could just be the end of a possible dynasty. I mean, they had their ring last year, and I don't know. I guess just Draymond's good on defense, but wild gets texts, and I mean, they just don't have it. The biggest thing they have to do is get him big. As good as Kevin Looney is on the defensive side, he doesn't score, and any team that has a big like AD or Giannis or Jokic or any of these guys that have a traditional big that can get the job done is going to beat the Warriors in a 7 game series every time. I mean, if you think about it, their entire playoff series last year they didn't face a big that's a dominant, big, serious guy. They just didn't. I know they faced Jokic, but again, Jokic. I hate using this excuse, but literally Jokic. Aaron, like here's what I'm saying. They'll say Aaron Gordon is a very great player. He's a great fifth guy, fourth or fifth guy. But when he's a number 2 or 3, it's tough for him to fill that role. He balled out that series. He played great, but it's tough for him to fill that role. So outside of the Jokic and without Jamal Murray or Michael Porter Jr., like that series, if last year Nuggets are completely winning that series, Jokic and company are winning that series every day of the week. But yeah, any team that has a traditional big is just going to beat the Warriors flat out. And they're going to find a solution to the three, force them to take twos, and then it's just 2v2, boom, 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 boom. And then they have them in the center position. But yeah, I mean, Jordan Poole had one of the biggest, I guess it's technically a junior slump. He had the biggest down years. Like from last year's playoff run to this year was night and day. And so, but I mean, outside of that, Clay, he's going a little cold, obviously. But I guess it'd be time to. It's one thing. Do you just give up on him after one bad year, or do you just try it again and try to get him big? It's a matter of what they
Um,
want to do.
yeah, I understand that. I ship them, but that's just me.
Yeah, I agree with
I
that.
mean,
Jordan,
I mean, yeah, I feel like when you looking, when you're, actually, I'm shipping Jordan Poole as well. When you look at, okay, it's almost like,
Shanghai better get some nice players for next year.
yeah, I feel like whenever you look at the competitors you have to deal with, so you know for a fact, no matter what, it's almost a shoe in again, barring injury, it's a shoe in that Jokic is going to be in the playoffs. Um, Looking at the Kings, I mean, the Kings are going to do nothing but get better. Okay, you beat the Kings, that's fine. Phoenix, barring any injury, they're going to probably make roster moves. They may end up getting off of Aiton. They're going to be in the final. They're, I mean, not the finals, but they're going to be in the playoffs. Look at the Clippers. They're going to be in the playoffs. Look at the Lakers. Barring any injuries, which I know that's hard, but they're going to be in the playoffs. So your competitors, almost all of your competitors, if they don't got just two great players, like two awesome players, in this case, the Suns with obviously KD and Book, or the Clippers with Kawhi and PG if they even play. But outside of those two, each one of those teams got truly good bigs. Looking at Jokic, looking at AD, you're looking at Sabonis, who's a very, very good big. So if you know that, marching out here thinking Draymond is going to be the big whenever you're going against, I will literally, I'll be the first one to tell you, if the Nuggets could have somehow got the Warriors, oh man, you talk about absolute terror Jokic would have imposed on those guys. I mean,
It would have
that
been
would have no.
it
Go
would have
ahead.
been over. It would have been over in 3 games. The
Oh
Warriors were just
man,
forfeited. Those
that
three
would
games
have
would have
been
been.
absolutely dreadful. If we thought Jokic put up crazy numbers in this Phoenix series, just man. But yeah, like I was saying, I mean, if I'm the Warriors, top of the, I mean, I'm not going to not in order, just off the top of my head. Plays sadly going to have to be gone. Um, I'm getting off Pool right now. Not going to wait. Reason I'm getting off Pool again.
Saying
He's
that,
all
John.
he's off the jump, as soon as they say free agent, I'm not gonna let him say free agency all the way. They're going to be halfway through a free agent. No, Jordan Poole got traded. Damn, already? Yes. Get him out of there. Why? Because he's a guard who played good offense for you last season, showed improvements from the prior season to that season, but then dropped off offensively. While the common denominator equaling never being a good defender. So I'm not about to sit here and jeopardize my future for some kid who we thought who it's like we got the Dynasty Warriors and we had Dynasty Warriors Junior, like Dynasty Warrior Juniors. We had obviously Steph, Clay, and Dre, and we thought we had Poole, Kaminga, and Wiseman. They got off Wiseman. I don't think they should have got off Wiseman. I think they should have got off um they should have got off Poole. So yeah, Poole's gone. I'm making sure Wiggins stays. I like Wiggins. Um DiVincenzo is definitely staying. I don't care what anybody says. I love DiVincenzo. DiVincenzo's staying. Um Gary Payton staying. They should have never sent him to Toronto, wherever they not they he didn't go to Toronto, to Portland. Should never went to Portland. They should have just kept him. He's staying. Um like I say, I feel like I will give Kaminga one more year. He improved a little bit this year, especially in the absence of Wiggins. Um, Looney's staying, but yeah, no. And Draymond is really up in the air. I don't really think you can move off Draymond. I don't think Draymond really would go anywhere. I mean, he would probably go. We all could probably speculate. If he was to go anywhere, he'd probably going to the Lakers. That's probably what he'll do. But but yeah, no, I'm moving on Poole. I like Clay a lot. I really do. But I mean, I feel like Clay is obviously, no matter what Clay does from this point moving on, he will always and forever be remembered as one of the greatest Warriors of all time. So I don't really think he can add to his legacy being a Warrior anymore. He can have a nice segue out, go to another team, you know, just do something there. You know what I'm saying, until he retires. Um, I mean, but also it's also tricky with Clay. I wouldn't have an issue with him staying, but I mean I feel like if he's gonna stay, he won't be able to take up a lion's share of the money he's already taken. And if he wants to keep his money or whatever, which I think any man should want, I feel like his better chances are going elsewhere and just balling out. But yeah, no, definitely. Um Trading. Oh, I'm getting rid of Jordan Poole. Um I would like to move off Clay. And because I feel like you can get a big return for Clay asset wise, because many people obviously need a 3 and D guy. And you're talking about 3 and D, you start the conversation off with Clay Thompson. So I feel like he's a great asset that you can move off of right now as well, get something back in return for him. Um, get you, like I said, get you another good solid wing, get you a big or something like that. I feel like with Clay Thompson, you'll be able to do that. Um, and yeah, Steph Curry's we want to be Steph Curry, and that's what we do. And Draymond, more times than not, he's going to see the door. Um, I would want to see him somewhere else. I want to see Draymond play another style of basketball rather than like his whole just chill, facilitate role. I want to see him take a more of an assertive role. So, I just want to see Draymond do more. Not more or less, it is what it is, but I just want to see him like do more in a new system, a fresh start somewhere else. So, yeah. But now, like I say, the Warriors, they got a lot of questions to answer, but they, it's a great thing whenever your 3 pointers falling, but whenever you sit here and your two stars, Clay and Steph, combined for the worst shooting performance they've ever put on in their lives in Game 6, you know, it's hard. It's easy for everybody. Oh yeah, they just had a bad shooting night. That stuff just can't happen that way all the time. It can't just be a slap on the wrist every time you take these crazy threes, these stupid threes, and you miss them. And it's this Stephen Clay, they'll make those. Of course, they're capable of making them. But at the end of the day, when you're like 1 for 8, it can't always be one of these. Just a slap on the wrist. Oh yeah, we'll get better. Like no, but yeah, no. Warriors got a lot of, in my eyes, if the Warriors want to stay on top of things, they got a lot of adjusting to do. Just transitioning from dynasty team to mini dynasty, like the next gen dynasty with the younger guys. I think that would have been a transition very, very difficult to task. And I feel like this past series right here made sure that they understood, like, no, we can't go in thinking that that's going to happen.
Word. Agreed.
Yep.
I like the definitely drain the pool in Jordan, but
Like that.
uh uh, but I like how you say that. I mean, they always get a slap. They'll get a slap on the wrist if they miss their threes, and you can't
Yeah.
make that your only part of the game and not address it when it doesn't work. So
Exactly. It's almost like if you had a child, straight A student, always know what they're supposed to do, amazing child, but every time that they decided that they wanted to be lazy, it's like, oh, you'll get it next time. Don't worry about it. No, like we need to put actual fire in their butts and say, no, you're not going to continuously sit here and you're going to take a three from La La Land and then it doesn't hit anything, and then we sit here and just give you a pass because you're one of the greatest shooters ever. Like what made you one of the greatest shooters ever was also being consistent at what you do, shrinking in the biggest games possible in these situations. Obviously, again, winning last year's playoff understood, but in this series right here against the Lakers, they had applicable shots to really really make a bigger imprint on that series. So I feel like whenever that doesn't happen, and again they combined for their worst game ever shooting the basketball wise in Game 6 combined. Again, it doesn't get amplified enough. We just sit here and dismiss stuff like that because they're great shooters.
yeah, I mean, you can't really just give them all free passes just because they've done stuff good in the past.
Yeah,
By that logic, anybody that's ever won anything be like, well, you'll do it next time.
yeah, exactly. I
Try.
feel like it's not fair to the game of basketball. But moving on to the last round two matchup we had. Speaking of Jokic, you talk about Jokic already a lot.
Yeah, I like it.
Jokic
I love it.
and Phoenix. Um, I guess Phoenix started just having Kevin Durant for like a couple of regular season games, throwing him in the playoffs. Just gonna work. It did not work. Chris Paul got injured. Right on cue. Uh, Devin Booker was absolutely unreal as far as scoring the basketball. I mean, he was like some of his percentages and points averages was just absolutely out of this world. Um, but yeah, all that to say, Jokic, Jokic. So we're gonna say Jokic.
Just
Just absolutely like I'm still perplexed. This man dropped 30, 17, and 17. He dropped the 50 ball. He's like what like 5, 6, 7 games right now straight of averaging of having a triple double. Like
oh,
this guy,
he's averaging a triple double this postseason.
this guy absolutely like he's
This man
absolutely
don't miss.
amazing. He's just amazing basketball player. But I mean, looking at things from the Suns side of things, if I'm the Suns, realistically, there wasn't much that they could have possibly expected out of this, this playoff run. I mean, again, just adding KD, I feel like they really in their minds, obviously upon a new management, new ownership, well not new management, but new ownership. New owners obviously was going to, okay, well you guys already got something going, but let's just see how far it gets. We don't expect you to get anywhere. So yeah. Um Obviously again, Kevin Durant barely played. When he did play, it was like then they lost like single digit games or something like that. So it is what it is on that front. But I feel like the keys for the Suns is move off Aiton. He got to go. Um, got to understand that if you want to keep Chris Paul, I don't think they should keep him. If they want to keep Chris Paul, he has to be on heavy minutes restriction at least coasting throughout the regular season because he's an older player. He can't play those. He cannot play. If we know for a fact almost every year he gets hurt in the postseason, and he's doing nothing but getting older, we have to at least preserve him more until the postseason starts, and then obviously get themselves a competent head coach and fill out. Oh, number one is definitely get a bench. Their bench is absolutely atrocious. But
Pitiful.
yeah,
They traded their whole bench.
they traded their whole bench for a star, which is defense and their bench at that for a star. That's crazy. But
Wasn't
but yeah,
probably wasn't the best move, Phoenix.
I mean, it was just a. I wouldn't say best or whatever. I mean, they got Kevin Durant return, but it is absolutely just mind blowing that teams
I
think
can't
like, oh yeah,
imagine.
we're gonna we're gonna we're gonna stack all our chips in this row and literally decrease all of our chips in another row. Like it's just absolutely baffling. But um, but yeah, like I said again, they got to find themselves. I feel like a competent head coach where you know he understands the assignment, he understands what he's doing, he understands the talent that he has on that team with obviously a top 15 player of all time, Kevin Durant, and they absolutely star
Top
in
15, you said?
Devin. Yeah, Kevin Durant's top 15. Um, so yeah, I mean, I feel like
Talent,
once,
talent, yeah, but as a player,
I
I
mean,
have
like
to
I said,
reevaluate.
that's a huge argument. Um, I don't know if I can name 15 guys better than him. I mean, we could probably do that, but I don't. Not right now. We a lot of stuff to talk about. But yeah, no, like I said again, man. If I'm Phoenix, we ran up against the two-time reigning MVP, and our guys barely gelled, and our point guard got injured, and we have no bench, and Devin Booker has been playing extremely out of his mind. So, in conclusion, Phoenix Suns were the Phoenix Suns, and Jokic was Jokic, and Jamal Murray was Jamal Murray, and Michael Porter was Michael Porter, and Bruce Brown was Bruce Brown, and
Nikola Jokic is him, bruh. He is
bro,
an absolute bucket.
yeah,
Golly.
but it's more than a. But matter of fact, you remember the game that
He's in everything.
you was talking about. I think our last show when it was going on during that Philly game, and we were talking about how Joel Embiid took 26 shots, only got like 34, 35 points. That same game, Jokic took 26 shots. He got 53 points. I mean, that is just
Man,
he's absurd.
he got 53 points on 66% shooting. Look at these numbers. Let's go since the Phoenix series. 24, 19 and 5, 39, 16 and 5, 30, 17 and 17. 30, 17 and 17. 17 7 17 assists. 17 as a center. I digress. 53, 4 and 11 on 66% shooting. 29, 13 and 12. 32, 10 and 12. 31, 21 and 14. Man's putting up football scores over here. Jesus. 23, 17 and 12. This man is averaging a triple double in the playoffs. Can we
And
please revoke this MVP award?
And not only that, I mean, I was like I said, when you talk about triple W, I was talking about you think about Russ as well. But I mean, this isn't a shot at Russ. I was talking my favorite player ever. But he's doing it, and his team is reaping the benefits of also winning. Like, and I mean, these are here in the big games. Like, these are the big state games here. So, like I say, bro, that man, like, bro, just the way he plays basketball. Like I say, once again, this is what I was talking about earlier. Many people confuse being an athlete for being a basketball player. Same thing in football. Many people confuse being a star-studded athlete for a tremendous football player. In sports, athletes, it's very easy to masquerade as a ball player, but true ball players understand true ball players. Jokic is doing this stuff with none of the physical attributes that these people tell you. You gotta be super fast. You gotta be super strong. You gotta be this. He's obviously a strong man. He's like 7 foot. But at the end of the day, the way he plays basketball in my eyes is it's just on it's unorthodoxically the right way. He just looks funny doing what he does. I mean, he's taking like 1 foot kick out faders. I mean, he passes the ball like a jerky form. Like, but he plays the game at his pace. He plays the game to his strengths, and I feel like that was on full display the whole Phoenix series. The whole Phoenix series, he was just chilling, looking across the pond. He's seen the Phoenix Suns coming down. Kevin Durant in front of the Suns. Everybody think, oh yeah, Kevin Durant going to take him home and really show that that's a flawed 1 seed. And Joel Embiid, Jokic just blinked twice, snapped his fingers, dropped amazing stats, and just went on to the next. And just went on to the next
I
series.
knew the Suns were beating the Nuggets.
Oh
It should
man,
have
no.
been 5.
Stylistically, they don't. Yeah, they don't like Nuggets. The Nuggets in my eyes is what everyone thought the Philadelphia 76ers were. They
Mm-hmm.
feel like the 76ers is the big man led team with a deep roster. That's absolutely not the case in the Sixers' mind because again, they don't play the previous couple years ago 6 man of the year. I don't know who their backup. I mean, Paul Reed, I believe his name is. He's
Yeah,
okay, serviceable.
good
Um,
backup center. Yeah, he's a good backup center.
only person that comes off the
Plays
bench in
like
their
a man.
minds, and yeah, only person that comes off the bench and actually contributes in my eyes is the guy who plays defense. He played defense sometimes
D'Anthony
on
Melton.
D'Anthony Melton. I don't really know who else you guys have coming off the bench. You guys don't play Frank
Yeah,
Korkmaz anymore. Um,
Frank.
you guys don't play Korkmaz. I mean, I don't really understand you guys, but yeah, but the Nuggets are actually a deep team. You look at their starting five, which is absolutely atrocious. How great they are. Then, I mean, you look at their bench. Bruce Brown comes off the bench, gives you great minutes. I forgot the
this may
guy's
be the
name.
this may be the greatest playoff run I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, oh, it's about from the yeah. I mean, he's
Yeah,
great, but I mean, they're
I'm reading these stats further and
yeah.
further. It's the
It's I
greatest.
mean, the numbers are absolutely stunning. Like to say the least. These numbers are great, like beyond measurable assets. Like what he's doing is absolutely great. But I mean, I feel like the
He's shooting
Nuggets are
47%
just.
from three. 47% from three, bro. He's
But see,
54%. His true
he
shooting is
understands
62.
the assignment though. He gets it. He's not going to shoot 8 threes a game. Like he's going to shoot them
He's
whenever
not.
he like whenever he shoots it in the flow of the offense. Jokic is a perfect example of some. He's doing it at the top level. He's being. It's like if you were the avid just a regular basketball fan, you would think he is the offense. He actually just he but what he does is he does his role in the system to the T. He does it superb. Like that pick and roll between him and Jamal Murray is absolutely stunning. A quick shout out to Jamal Murray because he started his playoff series off. No, he started the playoffs off or whatever with I believe TNT was interviewing him before the game, and he was like, a lot of y'all don't believe because I matter of fact, I believe one of the guys was saying, "Are we going to be able to see Bubble Murray or whatever?" He was like, "I'm Jamal. I'm basically." He was saying, "I'm a good player. Like I don't understand why you guys think the bubble was an aberration or whatever. Like I'm actually very good, and you guys are going to see a lot of you guys doubted us all season long, and we're in the playoffs now. We're just going to show you." And boy, did he cash that check in right now. Man, oh man, they're playing great basketball. But yeah, like I said, quick shouts out to them getting over the hump. And that I feel like now would be a great segue into what's currently going on. They're currently up right now on the Los Angeles Lakers 2-0. And Jokic, yeah, I'm about to call you Jokic. Glenn read off Jokic's stats the past 2 games, obviously, when he read off his last like 6 games. But I mean, Jamal Murray yesterday. No, it was yesterday. No, the day before. What's the day? Saturday, Thursday night's game against the Lakers just went absolutely abysmal in the fourth quarter. Where he had like 20 something points in the fourth, uh, 6 or 7 from the field. I mean, Jamal Murray just came on in the straight attack mode. I mean, it looked like he just couldn't miss a shot. Jokic is just chilling being Jokic, and it's also funny talking about now the Lakers and the Nuggets. They thought many people were saying after game one, and all the Lakers got to do is start Rui and put Rui on. I'm like, what? Like, do you like listen? Rui is an absolutely good. He's a good guy. He comes off the bench. He produces. I like Rui, but the extremes of how we gotta have these conversations. We're not gonna sit here and disrespect the 2 time at that point reigning MVP by sitting here saying, "Oh yeah, the guy off the bench can guard him and everything will be fine." No, like that's not that. That is not that simple. That is absolutely disrespectful. It's Nikola Jokic. You're talking about a guy coming off the bench being able to stop him.
Well,
It doesn't work like that.
and it's funny when they said that, and every time Rui guarded Jokic, it was just Jokic was like, "Give me
Right?
ball,"
Exactly. Right? Like
and then AD
it.
sprints to double team.
but
Be like, "I thought
see,
Rui was gonna get Jokic. What's going on here, y'all?"
yeah. I mean, but see, okay, now quick thing about the Lakers, real quick. Before we, well, I mean, obviously, we just spoke a lot about the Nuggets. I mean, the Nuggets is great. I mean, if they keep playing how they're playing, now they're going to steamroll over the Lakers and go on and cruise into the finals. Hopefully, the
Nuggets.
Lakers have something to say about that. But right now, it's going down 2-0. It doesn't look like it. Um, Lakers. This is why it is very, very like sports commentating and just avid fans are absolutely atrocious. We sat here and all year long we were essentially calling for Darvin Ham. People were calling for Darvin Ham's job, and then he wins Game 6 against the Golden State Warriors, and they was having them. Oh man, Darvin Ham is great. He's because he made the switch, understanding that playoffs is a chess match. He made the switch to inserting Dennis Schroeder in the starting lineup, and then going and getting Vando out. And then we go to this series here. Can Glenn? I'm asking you. I genuinely want to know. Maybe you got the answer to it. What
Run down that
exactly?
bag of tricks.
Um, why would you go Dennis Schroeder, D'Angelo Russell, Austin Reeves, LeBron, AD against a starting five of Jamal Murray, KCP, Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, and Jokic? The last three guys I mentioned are either super buff in Aaron Gordon or literally Anthony Davis's height,
Mm-hmm.
Michael Porter
Gotcha.
Jr., or just the biggest guy on the court size. You're gonna go three bigs essentially. Well, three guys that can. You got one center and two guys that can interchange between playing the small forward, power forward. And on the other side of the thing, you insert three guards.
Schroeder's got it. Schroeder's been playing well, but he's got to be coming off the bench
I
against
mean,
this Nuggets team.
my God, three
Hachimura
guards.
should be starting.
You're no, honestly, truth be told, I wouldn't even let Hachimura start. I think Hachimura come off
What'd
the
you do,
bench.
Vanderbilt?
Yeah, that's where I'm going. I think because the only reason why I say this, I'm not saying he's better, because I mean obviously Rui gives you points, but I feel like with the offset, if you was to bring in Rui and not Bando starting, what you're essentially doing is you're taking away almost all of your bench production and putting it in the starting lineup. So I feel like for the sake of the
Smart
Lakers, the
call.
kid like
Smart
of
call.
to continue to be balanced, bringing in Vando because he's not a scorer, bringing in Vando at the four and allowing him to play straight defense, and bringing in Rui plus one of those guards, possibly Rui and Dennis, and also bringing in what's the guy who he was starting now he's kept Looney Walker, bringing in Rui, Looney Walker, and Dennis Schroeder off the bench. You have a more balanced attack rather than if you was to switch out Rui and Vando. So that's why I say no. They should start Vando
Good call. Who
and
would you match up Vanderbilt with? Would you put him with
Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's
Murray
getting
or
KCP.
Porter? KCP.
No,
Okay.
no, I didn't mean to say KCP. I mean to say Michael Porter Jr.
Okay.
MPJ. Yeah, Michael Porter Jr. I
MPJ.
mean to say Michael. You
Because he
give
locked up Curry, and Curry and Jamal are the same
yeah, but see,
position.
like I say, because the Warriors play a smaller brand of basketball. They know Steph, Clay, Wiggins, Draymond, and well, they try to start Jeff Green, but Draymond and Looney. You don't have a Jokic on the interior, so therefore Vando can afford to guard the best player for the Warriors, which is obviously Steph, because you don't got a guy who's just going to terrorize you on the inside. Because Kevin Looney or Draymond does not terrorize you on the inside. But um, honestly, I tossed and turned with this. I honestly thought about having, even if it was going to kill this kid's pride, I thought about having D'Lo come off the bench and let Schroeder start only because of defensive purposes. Because I would like to see Schroeder matched up defensively against Jamal Murray. Give me Austin Reeves and KCP. Give me Vando taking out Michael Porter Jr. Give me LeBron and Aaron Gordon, and give me AD and Jokic. So I'm saying, I mean, I would have rather that, but again, I don't feel like Darvin Ham's got the kahunas enough to bench D'Lo. So yeah, even though D'Lo's a absolute horrid defender, but yeah, like I said, yeah, no, I don't. Darvin, that was a classical moment of the stock price shooting way up and then the stock price dropping tremendously down because you tried to overvalue Darvin Ham's decision of starting Dennis Schroeder in one series, and he thought, "Oh, we just do that same thing again this series," and he came to punch him in the face like an idiot. Um,
It
like I
works
said, it
when
was
you're
the
playing a
abs-
team that plays small, but when you're
yeah,
playing the
exactly. It
Denver
works whenever
Nuggets,
you're
it doesn't
playing a
work.
team that does not have a true, absolute, dominant, physical specimen of a
The
big.
Nuggets are so stacked, dude. That
Yeah,
team
exactly.
is yoked in good
Yeah,
form.
yeah, exactly.
They might have got their chip. That would be nice.
Yeah. So I
Well,
mean,
they're up
that's
2-0. Both
yeah,
series are
definitely.
2-0. Them
Oh yeah.
and Jimmy Butler. Lesson learned. I used to never believe this, but I'm starting to believe that Jimmy Butler is. I'm starting to believe that conspiracy theory that Michael Jordan or Jimmy Butler is Michael Jordan's son.
Listen,
You just can't. You can't trash talk the dude.
it's Michael Jordan is Jimmy Butler's dad. Also, Anthony Edwards, Jimmy Butler's brother. Hence the why they both played for the Timberwolves. Michael Jordan, their dad. That's what it is,
That's
man.
actually
That's
not
what it
that
is.
bad.
But no, like I say, quick
That's
thing
actually
because
not that
we've
far.
been on, yeah, facts. So they all look like.
I don't know
Quick
if
thing before
same
we
team. I don't know if same team counts as like DNA tests these
it's a
days, but
correlation.
you know,
It's a
I mean, shit,
correlation.
shit, crazy shit's been going on.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. Now listen, if Anthony Edwards got drafted by the Bulls, case closed. That would be that. But
What are the
quick.
odds? Both from Chicago.
Hey,
Both
exactly.
to the Bulls.
Exactly. But quick thing before we get off, let's go and talk the Heat and the Celtics. I'm only talking about the Celtics because the Heat are absolutely playing out of their minds. This is what I said earlier. I don't understand the Celtics. The Celtics are the reason. Well, I'm sorry. The Celtics is the reason why we view Golden State the way we did all year long about they just flipped the switch and they literally have. If you look at their roster last year, you got obviously Tatum, obviously Jaylen Brown. You got defensive player of the year Marcus Smart. You got good to the very very good quality starters at your big position. Al Horford, Tom Lord. You got Grant Williams off the bench, great player. Derek White off the bench, great player. Um, who Grant Williams, Derek White. You got the other. It's another guy off the bench. I'm looking at him in the face. I can't think of his name. However, many people can argue that the Celtics had a better team than the Warriors last year. Obviously, the Warriors just had Steph, and Jordan Poole was playing half decent. But if the Celtics would have handled business last year, they would have put an end to this whole dynasty continue talk, and they would have capped off a very good playoff run, where Jason Tatum literally had 100 turnovers. Um, I feel like if the Celtics would have took care of business last year, they would have been okay, and it wouldn't have been so much pressure on them this year because now this year they're looking at everybody looking at Celtics as a championship or bust team. But again, the Celtics, the I feel like the Hawks gave the Celtics way more trouble than what was actually needed. And your Sixers being as flawed as they are, the Celtics are almost just as flawed. They just won the game. And now you're looking at the Celtics being down. The Celtics are down 2-0 in a series that they had both two games in their home court and they were favored massively. The talent deficit, the
They're still favored to win the series. I don't know
exactly.
how.
But the talent deficit here is monumental. The Celtics got more talent on that team than what the Heat got. But for some odd reason, can't continue. They can't finish off a game. Celtics cannot finish off a game. Celtics can't. I don't know, bro. I don't know. No, bro. Celtics are just a team that you look at them on paper. They're very talented. They look very good. But like when you see them play basketball, it's just too many outside things. They got Grant Williams. Well, no, I'm sorry. They got Grant Williams sitting here trying to get into your Butler's face, which I like. It's no problem. But yeah, you got Jaylen Brown being kind of cryptic all year about maybe he's possibly out the door, not liking the fan base, all the other cool stuff. You got Jason Tatum literally doing nothing but flinging up all the threes he possibly can. And then going cold. He's going ice cold at the beginning of the games. he started off the series not being able, well, not started off last series being atrocious in the first half and then coming on strong in the second. And now it's like he's not even taking shots in the fourth. You got Joe Mazzulla, who I feel like he's way in over his head here. Um, like I said, I don't know, man. I don't know. Celtics this year aren't really a good team. So you look at what the Celtics bring to the table. I mean, yeah, on paper, the Celtics are a good team. You know, they like I said, you got obviously Tatum, Brown, you know, you got Marcus Smart, you got Derek White, you got Malcolm Brogdon, you know, you got a lot of guys on your team or whatever who you would think on paper, again, it's a great team. And obviously they had to be great to a certain extent because they're here in this situation now. But I feel like genuinely speaking, if I'm the Celtics, I understand and I know that I'm not as I am not as good as I advertise. Because at the end of the day, like I mentioned before, you got Jalen Brown. He's kind of hinting at being out of the door. You got Jason Tatum literally not taking shots in the fourth quarter. You had him last series having atrocious starts to the first half of the series. He had a in his first half, he's going like 1 for 8, 0 for 5 and stuff in the first half of games. Like I say, in these past two games, he's like basically really not shooting in the fourth. Um, there's a lot of uncertainty about the team. You got Marcus Smart taking the last shot in games. I mean, a lot of you got certain games where you got Jalen Brown isn't taking shots in the second half. I mean, the Celtics as a team, Miles, you look at them. I mean, they're a very of inconsistent, flawed team with their style of basketball. You would think they got Jalen Brown and Tatum that it wouldn't happen, but I mean, there's just too much weird stuff going on in that organization. I mean, it's just a weird thing to see that you got your stars in the fourth quarter at crunch time of games when you're up double digits, not taking jump shots. Or in Jason Tatum's favor, not his favor, but it's actually his demise. The last the way that Jason Tatum closed out the last two fourth quarters against the Miami Heat, those turnovers at the end of the game has been absolutely ridiculous. Jimmy Butler is just taking this man's lunch money on the last possessions of games and just sealing up games on the defensive end and on the offensive end as well. So that's why me personally, bro, I hear what you say about the Celtics. I know you like the Celtics, but
For the record, I like them as like play. Like I like I'm
oh
not
yeah,
like
yeah,
he's like Jason Tatum's a good guy. Not like off the court. I like him. It's not like a rivalry that
yeah.
way.
They're great. Yeah, great guy off the court. Yeah, he's I mean young guy. He's like
Jalen
25.
Brown company.
Yeah, they're
I like
a
their
great
coach.
group of guys. But I just I think I personally don't think Joe Mazzulla know what he's doing. But but yeah, like I said again, man, I don't like it's just alarming. A team that's supposed to be this good is losing in this fashion. There's nothing wrong with losing games. You're gonna lose games, but losing games where your stars aren't, or when your stars are on the court for a period of time and not taking shots, when they're supposedly the best shot makers on the team, having defensive mislapses, having turnovers in crucial parts of the game on a consistent basis. Not like it's one game; it's a consistent basis. Having
In the fourth
you
quarter too. Back
in
to
the
back
fourth
possessions.
quarter, you're right, and then you have multiple you have double digit leads going into different quarters, and you just they're just decimating in like a matter of minutes. And then, I mean, like I said, on top of that, you know what I'm saying you got a roster full of like just I feel like slightly organized chaos. Marcus Smart, who's again, he's not really, you know, he's a good guy. I feel like he's another guy in my eyes. If something was to happen to him this season, I feel like Marcus Smart should go elsewhere and you know, trying to kind of really earn his keep because I feel like he always gets overseen as the third guy on this team. Because obviously of Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum. But yeah, I don't know, man. They're just not a on paper they're a good team, but I don't think they play like a good team.
Fair. I mean, they've been not not producing and not executing when it matters. Unlike the team, sometimes it's just a matter of chemistry. Chemistry goes a long way. Doesn't matter. You can have a whole bunch of guys, but if they don't like playing with each other, that's why you know KD hasn't been successful on multiple teams outside of the Warriors. A lot of bunch of players try to team up, and you just got to build chemistry. And the Heat seem to have that down in South Beach, and Doesn't seem to be working right now for Boston. Series is not over, of course, but
Yeah,
especially since the fact that Boston's better on the road at home, if that makes sense. But yeah, I'm gonna. That's gonna be kind of crazy to see. But I think the Heat are gonna pull us off. I don't know. I got a hunch. Jimmy Butler's just him right now. He's in his own playoff Jimmy.
yeah. No, I feel like no matter what, he's going to continue to do. He's going to continue to do his thing.
Mm-hmm. Word.
Yes,
You got
sir.
anything else to wrap us up tonight?
Nah, that just wraps us up. That was a super duper long show. Uh, a
We had a
lot of
lot.
like,
We had a lot to catch up.
oh yeah, definitely did. But I mean, a lot of stuff definitely I was to catch up on. But then yeah, no, like I say, man, a lot of good stuff. But no, I think that should wrap us up for this one.
Word. Hey yo, next show we'll be able to start drinking on the pod.
Hey, yes
What do we have
sir.
like drinks of the day? We can each get the same one.
Did you get the same drink?
Yeah, drinks of the day. Do stuff like that. That'd be fun. Well, now that we
Yeah,
can.
I think yeah. Now we actually can. I think that'd be dope.
Word. Well, yeah. That sounds like a plan. Got any plans for the rest of the day?
I'm about to probably honestly, I'm about to go back to sleep. Um,
Dude, I
then
got
I'm
tired all of a sudden. I gotta get to work at 3:32. I don't want to
yeah,
go right
yeah,
now. I don't know.
nah,
I'm
bro.
not feeling it right now.
I'm about to take me a good nap. I'm about to after I wake up, I'm gonna clean up. I got clothes in the washer. I'm gonna put the clothes in the dryer before I go to sleep. Yeah, I'm gonna hit the gym when I wake up. Then I'm gonna go dominate some folks on 2K, and that's really about it.
Dub. Well, that sounds good. Sounds good. I'll enjoy it. Definitely enjoy the rest of your day. And we will see y'all soon. Thank y'all again for listening to this very excellent episode 98. We are now two away from, technically one away from the 100th episode.
Yes,
The
sir.
long awaited 100th episode.
Yes, sir. Definitely not. And if we're not on the podcast, and Glenn before Monday, guys, Glenn's birthday is upcoming. He's been saying it 2/1/21, the big 21, coming up. So if we're not on the show, I want to give you an all out happy birthday. 21 years on the planet. Obviously, we're trying to get to 100 more. So, very much proud of you, my guy. I'm glad I could be able to be in your life, see the man you're becoming, and I could not ask for a better co-host, friend, brother, all that good stuff. So I appreciate you. Obviously, the show itself greatly appreciates you. And yeah, we're going to sit here. We're going to drink some. I'm going to drink me some water. But you're going to drink you something good that night, I'm assuming.
Some good
And
stuff.
yeah, definitely live it up, my guy.
Appreciate it, brother. Ditto on everything. That got me. That was a. Damn, how's it going? Couldn't ask for a better partner. Going through building from scratch, and we're working out this whole thing. But you know, it's been a fun ride so far. I appreciate it, and it's gonna be good.
No problem. Well, on that note, let's go ahead and wrap it up. My headphone literally just died and it was on 100% before we started the show.
I
So
can hear it.
I'm going ahead and get up out of here. Like I said again, guys, be on the lookout. Episode 100 is around the corner. Got one more episode until then. His birthday, a lot of cool stuff, playoff sports. My golden my Golden Knights, I mean, just can't have a better time of the year. It's that time of the year where champions are getting crowned. You know what I'm saying? I got my jersey fitted. I had to make sure I send Glenn the link to get that jersey since I'm gonna win this I wanna win this bracket. So yeah. Appreciate you guys listening, appreciate you guys for watching or whatever. Obviously like, subscribe, go check us out on Instagram. Got a lot of cool stuff on Instagram. Glenn has one of a post going super viral on Instagram. So definitely go check it out already if you haven't.
Twenty-seven
And on top of
thousand.
that,
27,000. Jeez.
27,000 views is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, half of you guys haven't even seen 27,000 people. But the fact that he has something like that, again, definitely go check it out. Go subscribe to the page, like the page or whatever, like the pictures. A bunch of guys just, like I said, talking sports, like how we got almost in like all our damn bios. So
Fun.
yeah. So I'm on top of that. You guys have good ones. Glenn, my guy, will holler at you later.
Later.
All right. Bye-bye.